Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today. Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past
Good day,
so that they can
family.
excel in the future.
I had that on
Sign up
repeat.
today.
It is awesome. I actually went and checked it out. I will come back with some information on it. For those of you who got little babies and stuff, I think I'm going to do it for my grandbabies. Come on now, babies. I'm just waiting for one person to come in here. I think you came and left. Let me see. Did you come back? Yeah, you came back, and thank you, because me and you going to start. But what I was watching right there was a little clip. You know, Malcolm said that only a fool will let his enemy teach his children, teach his kids. And he was talking to us about us. Let's not make no mistakes. You know, we all did it to be able to work and to get this luxurious life that we all like and stuff, to pay our bills and stuff, take care of our families. We had to go to work, dive deep, you know, to survive. It came at a cost for us. It came at a very big cost for us to put our babies, our children, into those schools, those parochial schools like that. Even though, you know, we knew, a lot of us heeded his words and we knew, but still it was kind of like a trap that we found ourselves in. Somebody had to work, you know, so I could see some of the mothers and the families not having any other way except for to put the kids and stuff into schools, because we didn't have, you know, daycares and set up our own schools and stuff like we're doing now. But see, we forced to do it now. So that's the difference and stuff. But this right here is a website. Because, you know, they stripping everything away. You know, critical race theory. I didn't know anything about that either. Where I'm from, honey. Sure didn't. I can just imagine where I'm from, them little bitty hick towns, how our babies going to be so left behind, y'all. behind all of this. Even the little smallest chance that they had, that's going to be wiped away, you know. But I don't know where I put that at. We can listen to it so you can see it. It's going to show it on there, the website that you go to.
Malcolm X said, of all of our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. But history is being taken away. Diversity is being challenged. We still have a responsibility to make sure our children understand the past so that they can excel in the future. Sign up today.
That's it right there. Enroll at it's racecritical.com. RACECRITICAL. Racecritical.com. And I just went over there now to March the 31st. It's only $4.99 a month, I think. But after that, I think it go back to $11.99. And if you got babies now that are in schools and stuff, you go ahead and do it. You go ahead and get that. Boy, move. Sure. You go ahead and get that for your baby so y'all can go on and get started on it and stuff. For years now, I've been wondering how to start a little homeschool myself. You know, just putting up a little curriculum. It's very difficult, y'all. It's really intimidating to do stuff that we're not used to doing. You know, but if you're willing to do it, then go and put the time and the effort into it to learn. You know, and it's for y'all benefit if you got babies and stuff, kids that's still in parochial school. They're going to need to continue learning. And you could go to this site right here, racecritical.com. I forgot where I put my notes at. But to March the 31st, I think that's what it said, March the 31st, it's $4.99. No, that's not it right there. Yeah, I don't know where I put mine at and stuff. I feel so cluttered with stuff around. I need some shelves and cases and stuff, bookcases and stuff. But go to that website and sign up for it. Check it out and stuff, because it would definitely be worth it. It would definitely be worth it to get it. Well, we're going to go ahead and cover these numbers up, because, you know, I don't really like to even be sweating about all of that and stuff. That's just really a distraction. Because, you know, we know in life that we ain't for everybody. You know, I know that everybody don't love my ancestors, and everybody ain't going to be there for the ancestors and want them to receive justice. But that's all right, because justice does belong to my ancestors, all of it. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, that's the only justice that hasn't been had is to my ancestors. The way I look at it, everybody has received justice in some way for what they people have gone through. But my people, I mean, everybody has. So yeah, I'm all on my ancestor side. I need a little bitty piece of paper. I think y'all know tonight is the last night. We got like 10 pages maybe. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got like 10 pages and we will be done. We will be done with this book right here. I don't know why the ancestors had us start with Red Summer and then the total United States. Well, Red Summer must have been like the introduction. I don't know. And then racial violence in Kentucky, 1865 to 1940. And this right here is racial violence in the United States. So now I guess we get in the middle of that, which I'm really not sure how we're going to do that, y'all, because there's a lot of states. And if them other books is thicker than this, then yeah, I'm pretty much going to have a problem with most of it, if not all of it, because it shouldn't be this much violence on one group of people, by one group of people, mostly, predominantly. I mean, you know, I think the Irish that was in the draft riots, they were white too. They wasn't black. So I'm like, you know, where I'm from and stuff, with the little hick town, y'all, it ain't very big. You know, yeah, I would say these peoples is white too. I don't even know any Irishmen. You know, I don't even think I ever seen any. But then I had my culture shock when I left down south. That's when I had my culture shock. Oh, let's go ahead and get this out the way, the fundamentals and stuff, because it's going to be a very quick night tonight, y'all. So, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. Just be wary. Okay? I'm Face the Nation. As you know, we are on Bolden Unchained, and we here to assist Black America and Black media with the uncovering and the condemning of the many agendas, events, projects, operations, laws, codes, acts, bills, plans, courses, studies, experiments, y'all. It's so many arrows in Black America. I can't even begin. I'm still learning myself. I didn't even know memorandums. There's memorandums on Black people. There's courses you could take in some colleges on the mind of a Black woman to see how Black women, handle and work through stresses, barriers, trauma. I don't know. I just saw the short on it from Sister. And I believe her when she was in her school, the college, and she was surprised and went live and said, oh, they got courses on Black women. Yeah, I believe every word she said and stuff. So, yeah, I don't doubt her. And I don't doubt what they teaching either. I do not doubt what they teaching about us. We the ultimate for everything. We the key for everything. Black America, the whole world is waiting on you to wake up. Yep. Whoever would have thought after all of this trauma and bullying and, oppressing Black people, us. Oh, I'm so glad I'm Black. Oh, thank you, ancestors. I'm so glad I'm Black. I am grateful that I'm Black. Yes, I ain't got to do nothing but be on my ancestor side, the right side of time, right here, right now. The right side of earth, if you will, whatever you want to call it. It might be hell that we in, but I know I'm on my ancestor side. I'm on, yeah. White folks, you've been lied to. You got this rage in you and stuff. White folks you got to heal all of that. Can you imagine? Y'all don't even know what's inside of y'all, and you're gonna have to confront it. They're gonna have to confront theirs too, y'all. Black America. White folks gonna have to confront theirs too, but we can't heal it. They're gonna have to heal that themselves. I'm just so thankful that I am on the right side of this fight. That's why Vernon John said, if you see a good fight, get in it. This the fight right here, y'all. This the fight. They always say, pick your battles. Ain't your people always told you that, your mama and your grandma said, always pick your battles in life. Don't go off, fighting over anything and everything, which is what a lot of us do. Me too. Just being distracted, blissfully ignorant. Yep. So it's like, damn, we just ignorant all the way around. Dr. Ray Hagan said it was a dedicated ignorance or self-hatred because we dedicated to being ignorant. I think it's fair. I don't know if we scared of our power or white folks' alleged power. I don't know. What's y'all fear? What's holding you back, Black America? Now, I know you done woke up. I know you done woke up, Black America. I don't care where you at, even watching this video. You know what's happening. You know what's coming around again, and you know it's about this. So if you're going to sit there and be scared and stuff, you're going to find yourself in heaven with white folks. You better wake up. You're going to find yourself in heaven with white folks. And it won't be no savior there and stuff. The few of us that passed on and willingly went to heaven, they ain't going to be trying to get out. You going to be the only one. Oh, shit, Faith was right. Faith was right. How'd I get out here? But you're going to be trapped behind them pearly white gates. John Brown up there talking to white folks, telling white folks they still ain't trying to do right. But you're going to find yourself trapped in heaven with white folks. I'm not lying to y'all. I don't know why all of the experts and the scientists and stuff haven't told us. But I know our ancestors would have told us. They the ones telling me now, probably shit. Letting me know you better tell everybody don't take their ass to heaven. Tell them, face. Yeah, so I gotta tell you. I don't know why our experts and the scientists and the engineers and stuff not saying nothing about it. I guess because they know when we die, we ain't really gotta know. That's just gonna wear them some more. I don't know. Maybe white folks fear that, damn, what if nobody's in heaven with us? I don't know. I never even imagined none of this, any of this. But black people don't go to heaven with white folks. You go to heaven with white folks, you're going to be up there for eternity. As much as your little bitty brain that you operating in right now, in that circle, as much as you think heaven is big and wonderful and beautiful and stuff, it ain't for you. No, they lied again. They lied again. As sure as I'm sitting here with my cotton that's done fell off the stem, honey, that's cotton on the other side of them clouds up there. Don't be a fool and a dummy. Now, come on now. Somebody got to start telling us the truth. Everybody got us as looking like damsels in distress. Ain't that the word? Damsels in distress. Yep. But honey, we black women. Come on, we're black women. Black men. We don't usually fall for all this nonsense and this make-believe and stuff. But see, religion did it. And I just started, ain't it? But in all my little research I've been doing, and I'm trying to be sincere with everybody on everything. But honey, I see everybody leading us to heaven and stuff. I'm thinking somebody. Now, all of y'all, you know about yours, your religion. You know about your religion, all of y'all know about each other's religion. Every last one of y'all know about each other's religion. But who right? Which one of y'all asses is right that we going up here to heaven? And which one of y'all, since you're right, which one of y'all is going to tell our people? See, we don't need you to be wearing that, oh, they ain't going to be able to handle that. Black people can't handle it if you tell them they ain't going to heaven. Just explain to us that it's more than heaven and hell. I know white folks done beat it into you that it ain't nothing but heaven and hell. So you thinking, damn, face, if I ain't going to heaven, that means I'm going to hell. No, it don't. No, it don't. It just means you going somewhere else that white folks ain't going. Because, see, white folks is in heaven and hell. There you go. You got to make this word, it makes sense for you, to you, concerning your people. Because you might be fine in heaven with white folks. But please, don't trap all of the rest of your people in heaven with Jesus and God just because that's what y'all been taught. I mean, just tell us the truth. At least give us the option that we don't want to go to heaven. I'm taking mine. I ain't going whether you say so or not. No, I think I'll take my chances. Yeah, I'm going to fly on off. I am. Shit, fuck the dumb shit. I'm not spending another eternity nowhere, another lifetime, nowhere, another vibe, another frequency, another swag. I'm not spending another nothing with white folks after earth. I ain't got to. That was a lie. That was a whole lie. Why would our supreme being, why would the cosmos, which ain't got no name, Yoha did, why would they put us here, our people collectively, to suffer from white America, forgive everything, go to heaven, and still be up there with white folks? Suffering, you can't say we ain't suffering. Shit, the book said it, but the book saying all kind of stuff. We got to use common sense. We got to use common sense. It's been too long. It's been too long. What, almost 500 years now. Almost 500 years now. We can't do nothing. We even more. Except for our color. We mutating into white folks. Y'all wills. Right before our very eyes. You are mutating into white women. Yep, there you go. Yep, I don't hardly see no sister. You know how you and sister be. No, because y'all ass is changing and shit. You're looking like Sabrina. You're looking like Karen. You know, I'll just be like, damn, where is sis at? You know, hell, I ain't got but 2 friends, but still, I still see us when I'm out there. I still talk to us. And I can see the change in us. We ain't the same. We are not the same black woman that we used to be. Then you see white women some places and stuff, and they tend to act more black than the black women do. I know. I said, maybe it ain't gonna happen like that. Maybe white folks ain't gonna be the new black. But one day, a couple years ago, I was downtown, and I promise you, it were 2 guys. One of them was white, and the other one was, he might have been mixed. You know, he was like, let me get my black ass home. And I was like, oh, shit. But that's before I even just said what I said now. I did comment on it. I think I did. Maybe not, you know, but I did make note of it. But I didn't think it was going to be on this level. Because if he was mixed, you know, maybe he was just addressing the black side of his family and stuff, of himself, his identity. But now I'm seeing this like, oh, no, this right here is a whole nother agenda. Yes, honey. Ooh, we. And the sellouts gonna sell all y'all out. Ain't nobody gonna say, hey, y'all can't do that now. Look, you done stole the American Indians, which is us. My grandmama over there on that wall. Yeah, but see, I gotta do my research too here. America about owe me 3 checks. Yeah, owe me 3 checks. But you know, money can't even, yeah. All that right there, so that's a different area. But you know, it's just like you done stole the American Indian identity. You know, ours, you know, stole our identity and stuff, replaced it, sold it for $5. Now you're trying to do it again. Done wiped our memory out. We don't remember nothing, y'all. Maybe that's why nobody taught us and told me what taught me. Hell, I was a willing child. I was willing to learn. I enjoyed learning when I was a kid, but maybe by then it was wiped out too. I was born in what, the 70s? Yeah, 72. So maybe by then, you know, enough of us had gotten used to, we had normalized not talking about anything. I'm sure we had, but come on now. It's like our memory was being wiped out. You know how when you deleting files and stuff and they go 1%, 3%, 13%, then it slow down and stuff. It's like we were going through some type of erasure of our mental. Oh, beats me. I ain't never thought like this before either. Yeah. So we looking through a spiritual lens, y'all. I'm not religious. I thought I was. And let me just get that out the way and stuff. Because I thought I was religious too. But no, I'm not religious. You know, I thought I had to forgive too. But no, I don't. I don't have to forgive nothing for this right here. And I forgave what I knew. I don't know about y'all, but I was sincere. And I read about Ruth when I was a little girl. So I went through, you know, them few years knowing that slavery was very, you know, unmentionable. And I was thinking about one of them scenarios I read about in Roots when I was a little. I never read that book after I lost it either. But I remember some of the passages in it, you know. Oh, yeah, I remember some of the passages in that book and stuff. But growing up and stuff, you know, I forgave all of that. It was over. It was done with. You know, we had moved on. Things was different. Things had changed. It was better for us. You know, after I lost that book, I started fucking up, making wrong decisions and stuff. But I was like, you know, that was just on me. You know, that wasn't on my people. Everybody else wasn't just fucking up. I was just making the wrong decisions. You know. But anyway, that led out to be a lie. Everybody was sabotaged. Our whole people was sabotaged, honey. You ain't even got no memory, rather, as of now. You a clean slate. As of now. You should be anyway. Because we got a whole lot to learn. We got to get all that junk mail white folks done taught us out so we can relearn everything and stuff. But, you know, I thought it was just myself and stuff. And so I went on through my life and stuff. You know, I forgave slavery. I didn't find out about Tulsa until Trayvon Martin was murdered, lynched, assassinated by George Zimmerman. And I think that was like 2013, somewhere around up in there. But I didn't even know about Tulsa then, because where I'm from, you don't get that knowledge like y'all got in other states and stuff. And education was pretty good. I'm glad y'all got it, but we sure didn't get it. And You know, I forgave that though. But at that time, I still didn't know about Greenwood, Wilmington. I really didn't know about Chicago, 1919. I think I first learned about Chicago in Marva Collins, West Side Preparatory School. Because, you know, she was telling, her husband was telling how when they went on their first date, and she was telling the little boy to give her the matches. And she was telling him about the fire of Chicago. And that led me to But even then, I, just didn't really connect the dots that it was this traumatizing. Can you imagine how many versions of racial violence in the United States there are? Yeah, I got politically correct right there. But can you imagine how many books of this variation, this title, that there are from different perspectives that's possibly going to have different stories, different lessons, different places. I mean, I just seen some notes. I'm trying to get some order to this paperwork and stuff here. It's at least 50 towns. Then I had slash cities. In the United States, black folk were just ran out of them. Fleeing for your life. Run for your life. That's where that saying comes from. It seemed like every saying we got, every phrase we got, and that we say, it means something significant. Yeah. And the one that I don't like that I'm trying to break is when I be saying I be damn. No, I'm not damn. I know now. Oh no, honey. I am not damned. I'm not cursed. No, I wasn't born no sinner. You wasn't either. No, honey, I'm gonna have to tell us like it is. No, we was not born no sinners. That baby you carrying in your belly right there, that baby is not no sinner. Stop letting them lie to you. This is allegedly 2025. And if ain't nobody gonna do nothing to help us, at least tell us the truth. Here, keep your money, keep whatever you keep, all your personables, your tangibles. Just tell us the truth. Get the hell on away from us then. Yeah, we set y'all ass up. We've been playing you for a fool since you got off the plantations. And go, leave us be. Because that's what's done happened. That's what's done happened. Ever since we got away. Man, that's like really fucked up. But yeah, I'm processing it in my own way and stuff, So no, I'm not religious. I don't forgive nothing. I ain't forgiving nothing right now. And I freed our family and friends. The victims, I freed them all from heaven. I told them they ain't got to even stay up there. No, they ain't. I told them if they didn't know, if they didn't find out, like John Hartfield, Jesse Washington, Mary Turner and her baby, back then in like 1909 and stuff, they were calling on Jesus and God, because that's all we knew then. As far as I know, my mind, that's all we knew. But even if they was calling on Yahuwah, Mary was calling on Yahushua and Yahweh, he still didn't deliver. He still did not save her. He still did not smite all of them down. At least to save the baby. At least when that motherfucker stomped on her baby head, he should at least smited his ass down. So, when they found themselves over in heaven, can you imagine? Damn, I'm back in slavery again. But they wouldn't have known till they got in there, unless they seen them cottons. Everybody may not recognize that cotton, because see, we still under the thought, the impression we done had our whole life. It's done literally entwined with our spine, our core being. And then when we cross over and stuff, because that's all we know, we going to heaven. So we ain't looking for nowhere else to go. Maybe it's still looking like clouds to your ass over there, but it ain't. Right here, right now, we can know that it's something else other than heaven, hell. And yeah, it's something else out there, y'all. You ain't got to go to heaven with white folks. And from what I'm learning, I think we need to ask ourselves that very crucial question. Are you sure, sister and brother, that you want to go to heaven with white folks? After all of this, shit, you still ain't learned how to set no boundaries with their ass. You still ain't learned you still ain't taught them how to treat you. So when you get up in heaven and stuff, You know, yeah, think. Hell, they gonna clip your wings soon as you step over there. Yeah. Soon as you step over there, when you get up to them gates, that might be it right there. I think once you get inside the gates. But I think once you step up to them gates and stuff, you probably can't even turn around. Hell, William Joseph Simmons already done said that the Klan is up there riding on horses. He said robed horsemen galloping in the sky. He had a spiritual vision. That's why he revived the Ku Klux Klan in 1919. That's what he said. So, you know, I'm just like, who lying then? Who is lying to black people? Because something sure don't seem right to me. So I hope people don't kind of, you know, feel like mad at me. Hell, y'all the ones should have thought about it. Y'all, and I know folks done read this book before. I know people done read it. How many people done really read Red Summer? Whenever you see this video, if you know you done read Red Summer, please say something in the chat, in the comments, wherever, whenever. Because I'm just kind of like, how the hell could that go over with black people? You know, black people. White folk that see this, yeah, you probably ain't gonna say nothing about this stuff. Yeah, I'll never tell them. They get to heaven, they'll be enslaved again. You know, some more bullshit like that. But anybody black, and it's on page 64. Yeah, if you see this video and you done read this book, because I want to know how the hell did that get past you? And you ain't telling everybody that you come across about who else in heaven. I'm just saying, you know, y'all got y'all Bible and I got mine. This right here is our new Bible, by the way. This is our new Bible. These are our new Bibles. Yeah, it was confirmed to me when I first sat down here and there was a pastor. I'm still waiting on him to see that video, and I'm gonna apologize too, because I don't be intending to disrespect nobody. But hey, I feel disrespected. For me, my mama, my grandmama, my great-grandmama lied to, manipulated, misled, indoctrinated, neglected, abused, not even paid, not even 10% of the debt that they were owed. None of my people. I don't know if the ones like, you know, that was talking about reparations and stuff, they probably didn't even get nothing. Probably didn't even get nothing for all of this suffering. But I just want to know who done read this book right here and read that passage on page 64. After all the other stuff, after all the other stuff, y'all, I was like, it can't be no way. Ain't no way my higher power want me to spend the rest of eternity forever and ever and ever and ever more. Y'all got to be out of y'all motherfucking minds to believe that shit today. I'm just saying. Shit, yeah. See, that's why I don't go nowhere with nobody. You can't take me nowhere with you. Sure can't, honey. No. I be no buster U-turn on your ass so fast. Shit, you probably holler, Jesus, she's leaving. Let's read. Oh, let me get the the fundamentals out the way. Cause you know, the man said you gotta read the fundamentals and stuff for them, or you possibly could get blocked on your channel. So I always try to do the right thing and stuff. And everything. I don't need no Bible to tell me that. My mama taught me that. Yeah, you don't be stealing, killing, and destroying and manipulating people. And you don't be just sitting around waiting on her to drop $2 out of her pocket. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Yeah, I started trying to remember it, but shit, after Donald Trump trying to take us to 1965, I was like, well, it might be more than one. And that was 1976. It might be more than one. Let me just hold up. Yeah. But the more you repeat stuff, you'll pick it up anyway. You know, I learned about repetition anyway, y'all. It's going to be so fun. As soon as you find out how your babies learn, whether it's repetition, by seeing stuff, visually, hearing stuff. Oh man. Especially when you sign up for this course, racecritical.com, because we got to make sure our babies make sure they get all of the information that they need to know, all the tools, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I ain't saying nothing about the savage and the ravishness. I don't think that's that. That's right there. It's just, that's lessons for them. That's not, hurt and intent and stuff. That's not this. I don't think. I didn't get to look at it, but I'm going to. And it was only $4.99 till March the 31st. So go get that. It's a curriculum. As far as I can see, it's a curriculum. I want to go through it and pick out a certain one because I like to read. But I'm gonna use it to strengthen, my abilities, my skills in other areas and stuff, or whatever I can with it. But it's time we start doing stuff because it's very intimidating. When we had the lockdown and stuff, I didn't mind having a little teaching something for the babies and stuff, but I couldn't figure out how do you get your curriculum? Where do you start at? ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's good. I get working on a little app for that, but it's geared towards, African Americans. But all of this stuff right here is so new. Even coming here tonight, I was like, shit, I don't even feel like reading Alan ass tonight, But I know it ain't but 10 pages. It ain't but 5 sheets of pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 pages. And then, we'll be done with this book. But it's different. It's still different. It still ain't like, the norm in my life. But, it's better. It's for the betterment of my people, me, my ancestors, because my ancestors want to be remembered. Yeah, they want to be remembered. They said we need to remember them. They pissed at us. They heartbroken. They crying. We ain't never remembered them. We let white folk just act like they didn't even exist. And our babies know this too. Yep. Our children know this. Our young adults, our youth, they know. While we thinking we giving them the good life and stuff, and and everything is good with them, they sitting there wondering to themselves, y'all sacrifice for all of this. Yeah, that's what they thinking about y'all asses. Yeah, this what y'all sacrifice us, the greatness of ourselves for, to be around white folks. But let's read. Government and social violence, the complexity of guilt. And yeah, this is a racial violence in the United States, edited by Alan D. Grimshaw. It seems like he got more than one book, but because he's giving references to some of his other writings and stuff, and we'll probably run across some of them. But yeah, I digress. Conflict is both a continuing theme of the world's great literature and drama, and a source of great. Oh, I think I read that wrong. Look, conflict is both a continuing theme of the world's great literature and drama, and a source of grave concern for heads of states. As a social process and as an individual psychological problem, it is everywhere present in human affairs. But scholarly study of violence and force, the most extreme mode of conflict resolution, to beat somebody's ass like white folks were doing to black people, the most extreme you could do. Now imagine all the lynching, the burning, everything that supersedes any extremity of violent code. What is it called? Conflict resolution. It's all that's on the cusp, if not in it. A animal instinct, an animal instinct. All of this is, to me, how is this not an animal instinct to y'all, Black America? Because it is to me. And hey, they the ones that said that they were the Klan. Shit, I didn't come up with that. Black people didn't come up with that. White folks came up with calling themselves the Ku Klux Klan. So animals, and then there's clanimals. Because you don't see no animals going to this extreme to go out and hunt for food for their cubs or their babies or themselves. You don't see animals going to the extreme. When they go, like when the lion rush into the buffalo herd and get him one of the weakest and just kill it and eat it and drag it off and stuff, you don't see him going to the extremity of, like they did with this right here. Because all of these right here seem like the chase. It seemed like the chase. When I was reading these right here, I should probably wait till after this to get this long summary about my thoughts on the book. Because it seemed like the chase was on. And I just imagine black folks running here and running there and stuff, trying to get away. And, even in that one, they were like, we got a nigger in our sights, get him. Just innocent black men and stuff. But yeah, let's read though, because we're almost done with this anyway, with Allen. But scholarly study of violence and force, the extreme mode of conflict resolution, has not been proportionate to the importance of violence in the affairs of men. But scholarly study of violence and force has not been proportionate to the importance of violence in the affairs of men. Now, I don't want to break this down because it's going to take a long time. I don't want to have to break this down. But is he trying to say that white men resorting to violence, that conflict resolution, is like more important, it takes precedence, it's more needed, more necessary than the scholarly study of violence, as in, why the hell would they do this? But see, I digress. I'm not even going to get into it and stuff because it sure seems like this is leading towards something like that. But scholarly study of violence and force has not been proportionate to the importance of violence in the affairs of men. But then he ain't saying it's him. He just saying that it ain't been proportionate. It ain't been equal. And then, it's come both ends is coming from white men. The study of violence, white men doing that. And, the violence in the affairs of men. White men beating the hell out of black men to hold them in their place. So, I don't know. This is deep. I admit I ain't never read nothing like this right here, ever. In my whole life. In 11 years I was in school. It is not surprising that in the nuclear years since World War II, students of society have become increasingly concerned with the nature of social conflict, particularly in international relations. In international relations. Students of society, okay, in the nuclear years since World War II. Yet even today, sociologists whose disciplinary interests should lead them to a major concern with conflict have largely neglected its systematic study. Sociologists can always defend objective research and hence could defend study of conflict and violence as social processes. Nonetheless, they have generally shied away from this area. They have particularly avoided assessments of relative guilt and responsibility as between conflicting parties, lest they lose their scientific standing by taking sides or showing welfare concerns. No, I gotta be thinking about this wrong right here. So sociologists, instead of, silence is compliance. So them not even saying anything about all of this violence is showing that, they taking sides of white folks. I mean, what the hell, Alan? But nonetheless, sociologists have shied away from this area right here. They can always defend objective research and could always defend study of conflict and violence as social processes. So they got excuses. Sociologists got loopholes. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. So generally, they shied away from this area of racial violence. That's what we talking about. They saying social violence and racial violence and stuff, trying to get away from the fact that this book is titled Racial Violence in the United States. All of these titles and these terms and stuff, when you don't know anything about them, it makes it even more, complex to comprehend, But hey, I can do it. My ancestor chose me to read. So yeah, I can do it. I don't mind. I'm going to read it again. after I do some more readings and stuff. Because school, being in school and stuff, that ain't the overall intelligence. Shit, I got common sense. What, Alan think we gonna read this and not know that he done swayed the reader? At the end of this book, right there, he started swaying the reader to see black men not as the victims that they were in all of this. No, right there, he started swaying the reader. Yeah, if you hear this, Alan, I'm talking about you. You started swaying me, talking about the black men were rioters. They were the criminals. They were the aggressors. And white men were the counter rioters. I didn't read that Alan D. Grimshaw. So, yeah, if you ever see this video and stuff, you know, yeah, I gave you your credit for writing this book. But I'm just asking you, why did you try to sway the reader? And now you got all these, yeah, you know, yeah, call me then. I'm just saying. Nevertheless, they have generally shied away from this area. They have particularly avoided assessments of relative guilt and responsibility as between conflicting parties. Conflicting parties, well, I'm talking about white folks right here, you know, and the sociologists, you know, they have avoided the study of racial violence and why white people result to this cannibalistic nature. They don't even touch that to try to find out how could a people do that for so long on code, premeditated on code. It ain't no deterrent. How? So why come so sad? Why ain't no study on that? That's all I'm saying. We at the end now. But then, you know, that's so that they don't have to worry with the relative guilt and responsibility. But hell, it ain't like they paying anyway, lest they lose their scientific standing by taking sides. But then we just learned that silence is compliance. When you ain't saying that, you might well be like, go on and take it then. I ain't saying that. You know, it just seemed like what it is to me, honey. Yes, start reading to our babies so they can start breaking this shit down for their motherfucking asses. I don't care if they're in the 3rd grade, 7th grade, 9th grade, 12th grade, college. They'll be sitting up in there, oh, professor, oh, you a lie. You can call my nana right now. You a lie. But what happened was the draft riots happened because the men didn't want to go fight in the war for black men's freedom and stuff. So they upset at the riot representatives and bombing their buildings and stuff. Everybody turned their focus towards black men that was free there, and the riot started. Because all of this misleading and misteaching us, it starts from as soon as we put our babies in their schools. Yep, I used to love to do my babies' homeworks with them when they came home. But hell, they were learning the shit they ass taught them that they taught me. The same damn lies. Yeah, you can call me too, Miss Lynn. Yeah. Okay, Richard. All y'all can call me. You still here. Sure can. You got something you could contribute to this new school. But let's read. I digress. Unfortunately, moral issues do not evaporate in the face of aloof detachment. Well, I know that's right. Let's read it all together then. Nonetheless, they have generally shied away from this area, sociologists. They have particularly avoided assessments of relative guilt and responsibility as between conflicting parties, lest they lose their scientific standing by taking sides or showing welfare concerns. Unfortunately, more issues do not evaporate in the face of aloof detachment. Sociologists are so detached, y'all. It's a crying motherfucking shame. That's what it's saying, basically. Yeah. Unfortunately, more issues do not evaporate in the face of aloof detachment. Yep. Yep, it's a shame. I mean, how the hell is you gonna just overlook the whatever, say the box of matches that's sitting right there by the fireplace, that's sitting right there by the paper, that's sitting right there by the fan. And you got the fan on low. You got the fan on low though, see? So it ain't really blowing It just blew up. But still, you shut that door over there and there'd be a little whiff come. And that paper done hit on the fire. The fire done crackled and hit the matches. Then your whole damn house burnt up. I'm just saying. You know. Yeah, we weren't supposed to think. But see, we got to start thinking now. I don't know how you're going to do it and stuff. Start detoxing yourself. My mentor is telling all kind of ways to detox. Stop eating meat. Start slow. Stop eating meat. At least, once a week. Then go to maybe twice a week. Monday and Friday, increase yourself. Slack up on eating your dairy products, milk, cheese, and shit like that. All that pus and blood and stuff. Slack up eating your cigarettes. I'm working on that myself right now. Yep, cigarettes. Ease up on the cigarettes. Give yourself time. If you need a single, go get you a single cigarette. Everybody got a single these days. Yes, rest in paradise. And that's to Eric Garner. He in the afterlife too. Eric ain't in heaven with their ass no more. No. But go out there and get you a single cigarette. Don't go buy no whole pack. Because you're going to make this your journey now. If you need to, get you 2 or 3 single cigarettes. One for morning, noon, and night. I don't know. Just don't go buy no whole pack of cigarettes. Because, see, this is going to be your new journey. So go easy on yourself. Just make these little changes right here. So everything, all that gratitude from that will start coming to you and stuff. You'll find yourself getting stronger in no time. Because it's the right time to do these things. So it ain't going to take you like 5, 10 years, Like it took me 13 years, y'all. 13 years. For real. But it ain't going to take you that long. It might take you like 3 to 5 years before you be like, wow, I got my inside garden going on and stuff, I got my water filtration system going on, You probably got everything set up. I got my pantry fully stocked. You're going to be like that right there. I ain't had cigarettes in 6 months. Yeah. Or whatever, it's going to happen like that for you because it's the right time for these things. Everything's not being exposed for nothing. And then, y'all, the planets, I don't know. That old telescope over there and stuff, I can't even see nothing out of that sucker. But I don't know. I think the planets is shifting or something. I can't tell. Maybe they lining up in a straight line or something. I don't know. Maybe the sun heating up. I can't really tell what's going on. But it's a shift. It's a shift going on. It's like an internal feeling that we have because we are from the universe, the multiverse. You see all that up there, all of my things up there? That's like the multiverse. The universe is just one. And there it is right there. There it is right there. The universe. The first universe, where hell at. Yep. And white people. Now the rest of it, that's the second universe, the third universe, the fourth universe, all the way to the 12th. Because it's a multiverse. Now, I did read some man, he said that the multiverse is like 4 of them or some other. Y'all wrote them down and stuff. It's another airing. And the multiverse could go all directions. Yeah, it could go all directions, honey. I'm just saying, you ain't got to go to heaven if you don't want to. Black people is all out there. You can see everybody out there. You ain't gonna see many white folks out there. I do believe, though, now I'm getting off of it, but yeah, I do believe that somebody from the first universe that wasn't supposed to leave went out there into the multiverse, and that's why it's a spiritual war of good versus evil out there. Yeah. I can't believe that. White folks is only relegated to the first universe to heaven. Sure will, honey. I can't see it. No way that white folks can get to the multiverse. With all of this inside of them, honey, you can't tell me nothing. You cannot tell me nothing. Even the meteor and the asteroid that's collashing up there, even that right there is good in itself. It's good in itself. And then you got small meteors and stuff here, flashing all on Earth and stuff. But this right here, this ain't got this right here, this vibe, this energy, this vibe, whatever it is, I don't know. It ain't got no place in the multiverse. Maybe the universe, heaven, yeah. Heaven is big. Heaven is enormous. Heaven got 999 galaxies too. Heaven got 9, and each galaxy got 999 planets. Each planet got 9 realms. So that means Earth right here got 999 galaxies. Each galaxy got 999 planets. Each planet got 9 realms. All of them have the same. All of them have the same. So white folks would be perfectly happy in heaven. I mean, it's enormous. You know, yeah, they'll be happy that you black people don't have to feel guilt that you got to spend forever and ever and ever and ever more of your whole energy cycle until you burn out like a star. You don't have to spend all that with white folks again. After this realm, honey, you better take them wings and you better fly. You better fly, because you stop right there at heaven at them pearly white gates. That's where I don't know if it's going to be Jesus or God, his daddy, going to clip your wings. They're going to clip your wings and you ain't going to be able to fly out of heaven or nothing. And this book right here, Red Summer, William Joseph Simmons already done said it. What was this book? Read. He already done said it, that the Klan is in heaven. Now, if his mind is different than your mind, then that's all right. That's all right. You can't understand what he said. I'm your sister, and I can understand what he said. I can tell you exactly. You know how somebody speak a foreign language and you don't understand, and you got to ask somebody what they say. Oh, what did she say? Oh, she said that that was her dollar you picked up off the floor. I'm just playing. But you know, for real, what I'm saying. So just because you don't understand what this man is saying in this book when he said that, I do. And I told you exactly what he said and what it meant. It means that the Klansmen and the Klanswomen is in heaven. And our ancestors are not in heaven. That's why I told Emmett Till and them they can leave. Yep, they can leave. Now, I don't know if it grew their wings back or how they got up out. They probably just walked up out of there. Yep, we getting up. We leaving now. I don't know how it happened and stuff, but I told them they can leave. Yep, I told them they can get up out of there. They ain't got to stay. Some of them will willingly stay in heaven with white folks. I can believe that now. If you can't see your life without white folks on earth, the same is probably in the afterlife for you and stuff. But I know, yeah, the ones I told, I let them know, all of them. You can get up and go if you want to. You don't have to spend your eternity in heaven with white folks no more. I don't know how long y'all been waiting on somebody to say this. I was talking to my ancestors. Yeah, I call some of them by name, John Hartfield, Maurice Mays. I be talking to y'all about them. Some of them I don't even mention their names and stuff to you, but they in the book. I got some of their names written over there. Black women too that's done been lynched. I told all of them, you ain't got to stay up there in heaven because you thought that's where the only place to go was heaven and hell. No, I let them know you ain't got to stay up there with them. Y'all, this book was written by this man in 2011. Yeah. But anyway, the man did he revived the Ku Klux Klan in 1915. I just wanted to see how long this book been around, So since 1915, white folks been knowing that the Klansmen is in heaven too. Y'all just ain't knew. Ain't nobody ever said nothing. Damn. Unfortunately, moral issues do not evaporate in the face of aloof detachment. This paper has dual objects. First, to consider government relations with internal groups and the effects of governmental actions on the occurrence or non-occurrence of social violence. And second, to comment on issues of guilt and responsibility resulting from the action or lack of action of governments. Violence is social when it is directed against the individual, against an individual or his property, solely or primarily because of his membership in a social category. While this definition could include other assaults upon human dignity, such as slavery and the dehumanizing practices of segregation, analysis in this article will be restricted to physical violence, Negro white riots in the United States, intertribal violence in new African states. Ooh, we're going to be reading that. I'm going to take some notes on that, yeah. Intertribal violence in new African states. Oh, my ancestors. We have a book about Africa. Somewhere, I'm gonna find it. Yeah, that's Negro Classic. I seen it earlier because I got me a little bookshelf, but it's low. And yeah, we're gonna be able to just reach over there and pick a book off our libraries, y'all. Yeah, let's grow our libraries and our garden. I know, right? Shit. Okay. French Muslim warfare in Algeria and Hindu Muslim communal rioting in India are all examples of social violence, as are cases where individual members of categories are assaulted because of their group identification. Okay, so all of these different social violences. Yeah. Negro white riots in the United States, intertribal violence in new African states, French Muslim warfare in Algeria, and Hindu Muslim communal rioting in India. Yeah, they all social violence. And we're going to read all of them and learn about all of them. But right now, we learn about black and white violence. We learned about, see, we ain't finna detour off of why I'm here. I'm sure everybody else got some healing. Yeah, when we look into it, we're going to see. Because, right here, we concerned about Black America and Black Africa. Yeah, I'm born in the United States. Who was that said that I wasn't born in Africa, Africa was born in me? Well, yeah, that's where I am. Right here, we seeing what's wrong with Black America in the United States. Because we so disconnected with each other, this hatred, we like two beta fish in a 10-gallon tank. Beta fish will fight each other to the death if you put them in a small space together. They'll just go at it for no reason and stuff. You ain't put no food in there for them to fight over or nothing. They just, as soon as they see each other. And that's how we are to me. And I just be wondering, why? How the hell did we end up like this? But then I didn't even know that hurt people hurt people. See, I didn't know those things and stuff. So me, and the more I learned and stuff, I guess I want to know what happened to my people. Who did it? Because you do look around and you see the homeless are everybody. You see white people homeless, black people, other groups of people might be out there homeless and stuff, You see people going through hard times. Other people, going through some of the hard struggles that black people going through too. And you just think, oh, it's really no big deal, but it is. It is. It's also, you will be thinking, oh, that's just everybody. Everybody fucking up. No, everybody ain't fucking up. Everybody sabotage. Yep, other folks is just a pawn to keep this oil dripping on this locomotive. You know how Elijah McCoy, I think he was the one came up with the drip cup when he came back to the United States and he couldn't get a job, y'all. He was an engineer and he couldn't get a job. So he was working on the railroad and stuff. And you had to stop the train to put the oil on it so it'll run smooth. Well, he invented the drip cup. He invented the drip cup and it didn't even have to stop. It just dripped oil as it's running. The oil just dripping, And that's why they call his tours the real McCoy. The real McCoy, the best of the best of the best. Yeah, that's what the Marines and stuff said. But yeah, the real McCoy. He was an engineer. And that was he had a lot of patents and stuff. The drip cup was just the one that I really remember. And I think it was like a wrench or something like that. But yeah, white folks have really done a number on us and stuff. But yeah, we on about Black America here. Yeah, Black America and then Black Africa. Because we one and the same. We're one and the same. Black America and Black Africa. Bye. Yeah. We call Bobby Hemmett Baba too. But I'm just saying Black America and Black Africa. And this one experiment, y'all, it was a book, The American Dilemma. And it's like 1,408 pages. That's my first time, I think, seeing BA. And I was like wondering, well, what is BA? But it's either got to be Black America or Black Africa. The American Dilemma, The Negro Problem and Modern Democracy 2. So I'm wondering, is it a part 1? But, I just had this wrote down with all of these other notes and stuff. But we're going to get that and we're going to read it too, because obviously it's deserved to be read. It's deserving. And it's 1,408 pages of genocide. Genocide. I mean, you know, genocide really ain't a word that's in our day-to-day language and communicating and stuff. Just my mentors that's on here. Me and you, we ain't used to all of this and stuff. You know, I think I'm gonna have to start talking to us that's more on my level and stuff, because we the ones that's intimidated to sit down and read. Ooh, can you imagine how close you came to getting beat up last week because you were trying to tell your daughter you're gonna sit your ass down and read? That girl got so much anxiety about reading and stuff, honey. You better help coax her through that. Reading can be very terrifying. I mean, you know, then you ain't even got no pages in this book too. Honey, yeah, we gonna fight today. You're gonna put me on grounding, put me on punishment for 2 weeks. I'ma fail the test. Probably fail school too and stuff, because I didn't learn to ease into reading. And it's so enjoyable, you know, but it's really fearful for us. It's intimidating. Yeah, but let's read and stuff, you know. But yeah, all of these social violences and stuff, y'all, I'm only concerned with Black America and Black Africa. I think everybody else has, you know, their healing. They probably got some type of justice and reparations, you know, and it don't directly affect me, but indirectly, you know, I hope that they are okay, you know, as a people and individually. But I'm just here for the healing of my people. You know, I don't mean no harm to other people and stuff, but I'm here for the healing of my people on this planet. That's Black America and Black Africa. You know, and I know we got some people in other countries and stuff, you know, and I hope y'all ass be good to our people when they come to your country visiting. Because hell, they ain't got to stay there. They only there to enhance your country before they go back home to Africa and stuff. People only here to enhance this country and they life and go back home. Should be, that's what I think. Yeah, so let's read. Obviously, not all violence is social violence, like armed robbery and wanton vandalism are cases in point. As we shall see, an effective and impartial government can control most violence between groups in its population. A government which is partisan, corrupt, or ineffective, and if it is any of these, it is likely to become the others as well, may be either unwilling or unable to prevent overt conflict. Studies of social violence have documented the conclusion that heightened social tension is not automatically accompanied by social violence. Violence does not always occur when tension is high. Violence has occurred when tension was not apparent. The explanation for this seemingly anomaly can be found in the part played by agencies of external constraint, usually the government, with its monopoly of legal force. Governments have rarely made the use of violence a conscious policy for resolution of social conflicts. Social violence usually results rather from reactions by a dominant group to real or perceived assaults on the status quo. That violence does not always occur when the status quo is threatened. It's likely to find its ultimate explanation in the role played by the state. There are 4 positions available to governments in their relations of conflicting groups. The first position is that in which the state itself or its agencies directly attacks members of a social category. In a second pattern, the government, while not actually participating in violence, gives or appears to give its tacit approval to the violence. Approval is sometimes made more material by provisions of arms or by assuring favored treatment in the judicial process. A third position taken by government is nonpartisan, in that the state either ignores the conflict or takes impartial steps to stop it. A final relationship is that in which the state itself becomes the object of violence. This last situation, of course, frequently creates a relation of the first type, thereby raising a problem regarding initial responsibility. Whoa, okay. And then this Roman numeral 1. Let me see how many that is. I think it's like 3. Oh, no. They little short paragraphs. Kind of long, though. It would be impossible to catalog the innumerable cases of direct government action against internal groups. The shots fired at Charlottesville in the South African Union in 1956 were perhaps heard around the world, but the repressive actions of a white South African government directed against Indians and colored Africans alike are only a very recent contemporary example of massive state activity against a local populace. With world jury, Jewry, not jewelry, world jury, jury, Jewry. So yeah, it ain't jewelry though. Jewl jewelry, Jewl is jury, Jewry. Never seen that word. That word. Is it saying Jews of the world? Because it's saying world jury. Victim of systemic massacre in medieval England and Europe, the pogroms, pogroms, of Czarist, Czarist, of Czarist Russia, and of concerted assaults by the Nazis in Germany and in countries brought under its rule represents thousands of years of oppression. Such experiences by religious or ethnic groups are unfortunately hardly unusual. The slaughter of Armenian Christians in 1921, which earned the Ottomans the title of Terrible Turks, stands out only because of its scope and intensity in the 20th century, a relatively moderate one for large-scale slaughter until the advent of the Nazis. More recently, Menderes, Menderes. More recently, Menderes' mass murder of Greeks in Turkey in 1956 finally resulted in a trial in which additional evidence of government-inspired slayings of Turkish students culminated in his own sentence and execution. While the United States has seen little direct government violence against the populace in this century, the depredations of state, county, and municipal officials on migrant groups in California are not completely forgotten. This activity, however, hardly compares with that of the government of Missouri, who a little over 100 years ago ordered his state militia to drive the Mormons from the state or to exterminate them. Nor, for that matter, does it compare with the political purges in the Soviet Union, which occurred in the 30s. In all of these cases, and in numerous others which might be cited, the direct responsibility of the state involved is clear. However, assessment is not always so simple. It requires answers to specific questions, answers which are frequently not available. Many factors are involved in government decisions to follow repression as a policy. To understand, even partially, the activities of states using this policy, it is necessary to assess relationships among 1, the domestic strength of the government, 2, the strength of the state in its external affairs, 3, the strength of the attacked group, and 4, the past history of discrimination and violence. Thus, governments which are internally insecure because of economic or other difficulties may seek scapegoats and find a convenient traitor group, as in the case of Jews in Germany. Such states may seek to label some domestic minority responsible for their failures in dealing with other nations. For instance, minorities considered to be a legacy of imperial domination. The fact that social violence is frequently a reaction to a real or perceived threat to the status quo helps in illuminating some of the social processes involved in direct government action, but raises further questions on the subject of guilt. As used here, guilt includes a failure to act positively for victims of attacks by others. Legal attribution of guilt requires the demonstration of mens rea, MENS space REA. In dealing with government actions which seem to be policy decisions, we are frequently confronted with what seem to be manufactured threats to the status quo, but completely reliable proof is seldom available. Perhaps even more basic to problems of guilt is the question, who is the government? That is, does the government action rest on the massive support of all the populace who are not members of the assaulted social category? Is its action viewed with indifference or with apathy? Is the action perhaps even unknown? Is it opposed by other groups in the population? Answers to these questions might illuminate different varieties of individual and collective guilt. We would hardly hold an individual responsible for his government's activities against a group in the event he was genuinely ignorant of those of those activities. Similarly, it is known that there were some Germans in the Third Reich who actively opposed the anti-Semitic policies of the government and who actively aided Jews. These individuals share in no collective guilt, though references have frequently been made to the guilt of the German people. Can we even hold responsible those who actively participated in the institutionalized slaughter of Jews, but who were young children when the Nazis came to power and who grew up in a world in which Jews were defined as subhuman and fit only for extermination? Wait a minute now, is he trying to give us reasons to forgive white America? Because he ain't even confronted white America or condemned white America. And now we on a whole new rant, a whole new spill without even facing white America. I sympathize with the other people stuff, but like I said and stuff, I'm here for the healing of Black people. That's why I'm here for. The other people, I think they got paid. They got their reparations. They got healing. They got acknowledgement. So see, yeah, the more and more after this clip right here, he didn't turn around and make amends. He stayed on that same narrative, swaying the reader. Yeah, that's just what it seemed to me like he's doing. But let's finish this, yeah, because we done with him. Philosophers and humanists can argue problems of ultimate guilt and responsibility. Most social scientists, with their disciplinary emphasis on the importance of childhood socialization, are reluctant to assign full responsibility to the individual when he engages in socially approved behavior. Cultural determinisms and assessments of individual moral guilt are not easily compatible. A recapitulation of the free will determinism argument is not one of the purposes for this paper. A recapitulation, recapitulation, a recapitulation of the free will determinism argument is not one of the purposes of this paper. For purposes of analysis, it will be assumed that men and societies have some freedom of behavior and can therefore be held responsible. Guilt, as the term is used here, involves a knowing. Guilt, as the term is used here, involves a knowing violation of written or informal law to the detriment of some well-defined collectivity. Failure to act in this interpretation can be seen as blameworthy as direct assault. You mean like when the police and stuff refused to help the Black men that was in jail, and the white mob went and got them out of jail, and some of the sheriffs, y'all, went and locked themselves in another cell. Yep, just went and opened the cell up, and they went in the cell so they would be safe, and handed the keys out to the mob, and they would go like that. Governments have refused to admit immigrants who are members of a victimized minority in the oppressor country. They have failed to apply economic sanctions to governments persecuting minorities. They have rebuffed representatives of the affected minorities when they have appeared in the councils of world organizations. Hitler's oppression of the Jews was not a well-kept secret. If we assert that the leadership of all governments must share some responsibility for activity directed against oppressed minorities wherever it occurs, we must similarly examine the possible guilt of rank-and-file nationals of all nations. It will be admitted that the possibilities of citizens for taking effective action are more limited than those of their leaders. However, individual citizens well aware of the activities of another government against its own populace seldom protest the inaction of their own government or engage in any type of relief activity. Many Americans, for example, ignored or tactically, even actively, approved the activities of the German government against the Jewish populations of Germany. Still ain't said nothing about Americans. No, he still ain't said how Americans felt about white slavery and stuff, because they felt like that. I guess he's sure we ain't finna discuss that no more. No, ain't finna be no white guilt, no white accountability. No. Educated Americans have not been aware of the exchanges of atrocities in Algeria, of British treatment of interned Jews in Cyprus, of patterns of Portuguese brutality in Angola, of the treatment of the native population in the South African Union, and of a host of other instances of institutionalized brutality. It said educated Americans. Still ain't said nothing about America. Yeah. That they do know about. Hell, right there in the book, it was talking about was that Henry Fonda? And when he was a boy, y'all, he was in the hotel, him and his daddy, and they seen a white mob hunting, lynching a black man. He seen it. He was looking out the window and stuff, and he seen when the white mob went to I guess they went to the jail. If I find it, I'll read it, because this is our book right here. And he seen them. They went and got the man, y'all, and then they brought him around. I don't know if they had him on a 2x4 too, but I know he said they were kicking him and making him walk and stuff, and they were beating him and stuff, and he fell, and they made him get up. But if I find it and stuff, so yeah, educated, your famous people, you know, then and stuff knew what was happening and stuff. I just remember that when he said, you know, educated black people. Well, educated Americans, that's what he said, educated Americans. With few exceptions, one apparently being the massive support given by English citizens to British government policies against the slave trade, individual citizens seem to have been fairly indifferent to the problems of oppressed groups in other nations. One may ask if they are less guilty because they are not citizens of the oppressive government. Guilt, as the term has been used here, includes failure to act. These individuals may be less guilty, but they are not guiltless. Finally, it has sometimes happened that governments have been captured by parties to social conflict. In our own country, it happened in the labor strife in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The history of the coal and iron police in Pennsylvania is well documented, as is the labor violence in western mining districts, in which state governments were apparently dominated by friends of the miners. The federal government itself took direct action against labor in the widespread industrial violence of 1877. Governments need not take direct action against social groups in order to be found culpable. Mark Twain, an outraged and unusually articulate observer of the American scene, expressed the belief that lynchings would not occur if a few martial personalities stood up to mobs. He may have been right. Evidence indicates that when government officials have taken strong stands, social violence has been prevented. But he perhaps failed to take into consideration the fact that in many cases of lynchings in this country and of anti-minority violence around the world, governments have frequently given tactic and even active support to the mob. Yep. E.J. Hobsbawm, Hobsbawm, W.M. E.J. Hobsbawm, 1963, in his interesting volume, Primitive Rebels, gives examples of cases where members of social categories have incorrectly believed that the government wanted them to attack another group. Such was the case, for example, in Poltava in 1902. That's Poltava. Such was the case, for example, in Poltava in 1902, when the rural peasantry believed that a general had come from Petersburg with a manifesto written in gold, with orders from the Tsar, Tsar, to attack and plunder agrarian estates. That the stories was not true is irrelevant, thus bearing out the sociological principle that if men define situations as real, they are real in the consequences. Needless to say, it is true that governments sometimes have looked with approval upon mob action. The history of our own country is replete with instances. A goodly share, though not all, of the inter-ethnic violence in the United States has had the tacit approval of governmental authorities on some level, local, state, or federal. I would say on all levels. This is not true. This is true not only of white Negro violence in cases ranging from the New Orleans massacre immediately after the Civil War and other violence in the South to urban violence in the North in the 20th century, but also of violence directed against American Indians, Chinese, Japanese, and Mexicans. Tactic approval of management violence against labor-characterized government throughout the long period of organizational strife starting in the middle of the last century and lasting into the decade of the 30s. Appearing again, some claim in the Koehler strike in Wisconsin in the 1950s. That's Koehler. A more popular focus of government-approved violence in recent years was the Communist Party and its alleged fellow travelers. It was claimed that during the Poughkeepsie riots against Paul Robeson, police even rerouted automobiles so that they would have to pass by the anti-communist mob. And Poughkeepsie is Poughkeepsie. A question in these cases may be not so much who is the government as which government. The federal government of the United States has not given any indication of approval of violence directed against the Negro minority during most of the years of this century. Some state and many municipal governments, or at least elected officials of those governments, have been less clear in defining their position. In the Little Rock crisis of the 50s, a situation occurred in which the local and federal governments were determined to keep order, but high elected officials of the state government apparently were willing to approve, perhaps even encourage, violence against Negroes. What seemed to have been cases of middle-level governmental approval and even collusion of social violence occurred in the righteous periods surrounding Indian independence in 1947. While the tangled scheme, S-K-E-I-N, while the tangled scheme of crimination and recrimination may never be completely unraveled, there seems to be evidence that while the new national governments of India and Pakistan were decrying violence, and even while Gandhi was fasting, high officials in the government of, for example, East and West Bengal were not only looking the other way, but even encouraging violence against religious minorities within their states. Both religious fanaticism and attempted political aggrandizement were manifest in early stages, while genuine outrage and a desire for revenge later may have become increasingly important. In a novel of unusual introspective honesty, Khushwant Singh, Khushwant, it's one word, Khushwant, Khushwant, and the last name is Singh, S-I-N-G-H, 1956, if you want to look it up, has shown how government officials on the district level in the Punjab, Punjab, in the Punjab, originally concerned with maintaining the peace, were driven to a point where they considered that intervention to prevent communal violence would not only be politically disastrous, but would also deprive them of an economical and a politically feasible solution to an otherwise almost insurmountable domestic problem. They did not, Singh seemed to say, overtly encourage the violence, but neither did they take steps to counter the violence. Instead, they released known homicidal thieves into a village where minority members had been protected from outsiders and where agitators were attempting to stir up communal slaughter. Ooh. But, all of this right here is horrific. The violence. And Allen just done got totally away from white violence on black people. He done totally he done left the building on it, honey. Yeah, he done left the building on it. Ain't no need looking for no accountability, no condemning, nothing. None of the violence that white people have caused to black folks. Not in this book. Maybe in the next one. The question can be raised whether failure to prevent violence against a substantially weaker minority by a stronger one is much different from actual participation. Governments have sometimes claimed an inability to control the group attacking a victimized minority. When this happens, questions can be raised about the possibility of multiple dimensions of corruptness, ineffectiveness, and partisanship. If a government is honestly unable to control a dominant group in its population, it is infected. If it lies in saying it cannot control the attacking group, it is corrupt, or partisan, or both. If it actually encourages violence, it is perhaps both corrupt and partisan. It may be that the difference between dishonest claims of inability to control and the actual encouragement of violence reflects only differences in the actual strength of the government, of the attacking and attacked groups, rather than any measure of degree of corruptness. The case of Negro-white relations in the American South and of Hindu-Muslim communal violence in the Indian subcontinent amply illustrate the complexity of problems involved in assessments of guilt and responsibility. The question, who is the government, may be more integral important in these instances, even than in cases of direct government assault. In both these cases, it can be suggested that governments were dominated by members of the attacking group. This need not, however, always be the case when governments tactically support an attacking group. Students of ancient history claim that the Romans and the Byzantines, Byzantines, claim that the Romans and the Byzantines sometimes incited one subject group against another. More recent and better documented cases are harder to find. Furthermore, even in the Negro, white, and Hindu Muslim cases, there were large numbers of individuals, both in and out of the government, who sought actively to prevent or ameliorate the patterns of social violence. Yeah, this is real deep, ain't it? Yeah. There are probably very few cases in which every member of a government is genuinely nonpartisan in cases of social violence. Certainly, all cases of social violence produce problems of government responsibility. Nevertheless, governments occasionally have maintained an essentially neutral position in cases of internal social violence. Governments have shown their neutrality in two ways. First, they have sometimes intervened with force to quell social conflict or social violence by direct action against both or all groups. They have separated belligerent groups through quarantine or barred zones, or have themselves applied sanctions for not involving force. So yeah, once they decided that, white folks gonna ease up on their violence and they won't be openly, publicly violent like they were, then that's when the government started coming all out for violence. When black people started defending themselves and stuff, and then, after that, and black people get upset because they were in poverty, and they were oppressed and stuff. So, things would happen in that situation too, in that scenario too. Then that's when they all would come out full force. But that was after white America had been tamed to restrain your clownical nature. Reclaim that nature. Then that's when it seemed like it flipped the script to me. Yeah. And now we see this, we have this whole projection. Yep. That control is possible only if the government can effectively muster its forces. However, sheer superiority in armed force is not in itself sufficient if any party suspects the motives or neutrality of the government. In some cases of urban racial violence in the United States, prompt, effective, and non-biased intervention has exemplified this variety of neutrality. Governments have also followed policies of non-intervention. One variety of non-intervention reflects, allegedly, a government policy of tertius gaudens, Tertius Gaudens. It means to divide and rule. Both Hindu and Muslim spokesmen have accused the British of pursuing such a policy during the period of communal violence preceding independence. The British, of course, claimed they took a position from which they exercised unbiased and direct action against any disturbers of peace. A second policy of non-intervention by government represents the view of plague on both your houses. This is perhaps a variation of the policy of divide and rule, in which governments have occasionally seen neither gain nor loss as resulting from violence and have been essentially indifferent. The government of the United States, for example, did not intervene in struggles among Indian tribes so long as the violence did not upset the equilibrium of the larger pattern of Indian-white relations or spread to direct assault on the government. And and American Indians too. Black America, that's the same. That I feel like underlining that one thing in this book. That's the same stance they took with white America torturing and slaughtering Black America. That is the same stance they took. I know. Yeah, I ain't gonna commit the law right here. Yeah. I sure want to underline that for the next person that reads this book, because that may be the closest you get. A final variety of non-intervention results from a belief by the government that it is powerless to cope with the situation. This was, in the United States, the case in a few famous American feuds and in the Western Range Wars. It may also provide a partial explanation for the apparent inability of some metropolitan police forces to deal with widespread juvenile disturbances. Whether or not a government takes a strong stand in cases of internal violence, there are problems of responsibility. It is not, perhaps, the possibility of government to prevent situations conducive to social violence among internal factions. Oh, let me read that again. Is it not, perhaps, the responsibility of government to prevent situations conducive to social violence among internal factions? The claim can be made that it is a function of good government to prevent any group within its borders from either gaining a permanently dominant position or being relegated to permanent minority status. Institutionalized inequality between social groups or categories will inevitably produce situations in which real or imagined assaults on the system by the subordinated group will occur. Until there is a much closer approximation to full equality in race relations in this country, we can expect that some whites will continue to perceive Negroes as getting out of their place and to respond occasionally with violence. How much responsibility does government have for rectifying such a situation? Events of the last decade have shown that had our federal government long ago taken a firmer stance and a more positive action, the present pattern of American race relations would be far more amicable. But see, the government went along with what white America wanted to do until they decided, hey, we got to rein them in, just tone them down a little bit. Yeah, that's what happened. Shit, don't act like they was always like, you got to stop white America. Just stop what you're doing. No, they let them do it forever. For so long, they wouldn't stop. And then how did they sit there and let white folks bribe them? Yeah, we'll stop slaughtering black people in the streets if you lynch them as soon as they are apprehended. How? That don't even sound right. So, I'm just wondering, hell, who thought of all this anyway? And this was common white people doing these things right here. This was common white people doing these things right on next door to you, the block over. These right here, y'all, these was common white folks. I'm not reading about white folks that, in a higher bracket or, that's got on some pinnacle of success. These is people that's right here on this level with us. Ain't nobody in no elite nothing. The same ones on the level that you slept with and had all them babies with and married and bonded and mingled and married and yeah. I know white folk gonna be, yeah, they got all kind of excuses, honey. Yeah. A final variety. Whether or not a government takes a strong stand in cases of internal, but I already read that, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, are we on another chapter? Well, see, it just got they just got a number with Roman numerals and stuff. Yep, I think so. Assaults upon governments take a variety of, wait a minute now, let me make sure. What my thing get right here? Yeah. Indeed, insofar as the government pursues a policy of tertius gaudens, G-A-U-D-E-N-S, the situation is hardly distinguishable from that where it tactically approves assault or discrimination by one group against another. In the latter instance, as in the case of direct action against minorities, government and citizens alike must bear the same burden of collective guilt and individual responsibility. White folks and the government, but ain't neither one of them trying to take no guilt, acknowledgement, trying to compensate. Neither one. So shit, what that tell you? What does that tell you, Black America? When the shit hit the fan again, you can get it again. Yep, you gonna get it again. That's what that tells you, in case you don't know. Yep. So it don't matter which one started first. They gonna let it happen. If white folks come out the bag first on your ass, the government gonna let it happen. If the government come out the bag on your ass first, white folks gonna let it happen. Ain't no protection for you black folks. It ain't. Assaults upon governments take a variety of forms, including rebellion, insurrection, revolt, and revolution. More spectacular cases of historical interest include the slave revolt of Spartacus, slave rebellions and insurrections in Brazil and in the United States, anti-colonial revolutions, the Russian and French revolutions, the Taiping Rebellion in China, Taiping, and to show variety, Shays Whiskey Rebellion. We just read about Shays Whiskey Rebellion. In the 20th century, we have witnessed the cataclysmic eruption of the Warsaw Ghetto, uprisings in Hungary, Poland, and East Germany, the successful overthrow of the government in Cuba, and recent tragic events in Algeria. These and countless other instances are of interest both because they have participated in direct government action against minorities and because of the complex problems of responsibility which they present. In every case where a government is directly attacked by subjects, citizens, or dependents, the claim is made that it is corrupt, oppressive, traitorous, or that it has some combination of equivalently unpleasant attributes. To say that the assailants may have equally unpleasant characteristics and suspect motives does not involve questions of ultimate responsibility. While such resolutions cannot be essayed here, some subsidiary questions may be raised. The sociological premise that perceptions of a situation are more meaningful than the realities has the same cogency here as in the case mentioned above, where Russian peasants believed that they had been ordered by the Tsar himself to attack agrarian estates. If large sectors of a population believe that a governing power is corrupt or oppressive and engaged in assault, its actual purity becomes irrelevant. Their perceptions may, of course, be manipulated by unscrupulous outsiders. The situation may also, of course, be one in which the government is clearly ineffective, but not necessarily corrupt or oppressive. In any event, questions of responsibility for social violence can be difficult to unravel. If a government has been falsely portrayed, is attacked, and responds to the assault, does it, in responding, somehow have a different variety of responsibility than in the case where it itself initiates violence? From our current historical perspective, it seems to be agreed that slave revolts in Haiti and San Domingo were directed against corrupt and brutal master classes who controlled the government. More recently, Western observers are similarly in agreement that the ill-fated Hungarian uprising was directed against a corrupt and partisan state, but the communists hardly agree. In any event, where there are cases of corrupt and oppressive governments and where there are rebellions and uprisings, some questions of responsibility remain. Should United States citizens, for example, have made it their business to be aware of the treatment of American Indians, which led to Indian uprisings and to late 19th century Indian wars? What are responsibilities of governments to intervene in what are claimed to be internal affairs of other sovereign powers, as in the case of Hungary? In the case of Portuguese Angola, what are the responsibilities of citizens of other countries? What responsibilities do we have as citizens to support or to urge our government to support the claims of Africans in Angola? What responsibility must we bear for the incitement by non-official groups of the Hungarian people? What responsibility does our government have for actions of those citizen groups? What responsibility do you white people and the government have to Black Americans right here? Alan, you could have used this book, your platform, your voice, your skill. I mean, we're almost done. When is he going to say about Black America? He talking about solutions for everyone else. Everyone else has been compensated. Even some of those they said that wasn't even in America on this soil and stuff. Hell, they compensated them. Social violence internal to national states can result from disturbances of the status quo. Such disturbances may result from changing value systems, from rising levels of aspiration, from political alienation, or from changes actually generated outside of the policy. Oh no, the polity, P-O-L-I-T-Y. That's a new word. Yeah. Whether or not disruption of the polity, see, P-O-L-I-T-Y, and of relations among internal groups will result in social violence is dependent in large part upon the strength and stance of the government of the state. When that government is strong and when the government is strong and when subjects or citizens believe the government to be nonpartisan, overt social violence is not likely to occur. When the government is weak, corrupt, or oppressive, social violence is much more likely to occur. A fourfold classification of the location of government power relative to social categories involved in violence is heuristically. Yeah, heuristically. 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 Useful in organizing and understanding material on internal disturbances. That lines of demarcation, yep, DEMARCATION, that lines of demarcation are not always clear does not destroy the usefulness of this mode of analysis. It only underlines the necessity for caution and generalization. I guess now he's trying to excuse himself, huh? Scrutiny of cases of internal social violence from such a perspective raises interesting questions of guilt and responsibility. It could tentatively be concluded, for example, that strong partisan governments which engage in or encourage violence against a minority may be morally condemned, while weak nonpartisan governments which are unable to prevent violence are guilty only of being weak, though the source of weakness may have meaning in a final assessment of responsibility. Well, move, boy, all that hurt. Well, there is no way that the United States can claim they were weak on any level throughout any time of these massacres. I didn't see no weakness nowhere in the government on any level, even in racial violence in Kentucky, 1985 to 1940. I didn't see no weakness in them military and them troops when they came in, to stop the riots, the massacres, but they end up doing the total opposite. I didn't see no weakness from them where they were too weak to stop it. I didn't see no weakness where, like, when John Hartfield was lynched and 10,000 white folks, pregnant white women, kids, little girls, little boys sitting in the tree. He hanging in the tree. They sitting in the tree looking down. Yeah, they daddy done lifted them up there. He done helped them climb up there and get you a seat. But the government knew, and the NAACP knew. I wrote it on the receipt right there where I wrote about him at. I said I don't never want to forget his name. The government knew about it, and the NAACP knew about it. They knew about John Hartfield, but claimed they couldn't stop it. It was nothing they could do to them 10,000 white folks that was just screaming and slobbing and clamoring at John and, yeah, just wanting to get a piece of a souvenir, just a piece of his body. Wasn't nothing they could do. I didn't see no weakness in them. I didn't see no weakness in the government for any of these stories we've read. So, that don't apply here. No, it sure don't, and ain't no forgiveness being given here either. But yeah, this is it, y'all. Yep. All right. One conclusion seems clear. Responsibility for social violence or massive discrimination does not stop at national boundaries. Eichmann, Eichmann, Eichmann and Verwoerd, Verwoerd, may be identified as culprits, but the fact of their identification does not conceal the secondary fact that while they were engaging in activities against minorities, others outside of their national boundaries were clearly aware of those actions. When other governments or individuals studiously ignore what is going on, they must share some responsibility. We too are guilty, though this fact cannot serve to excuse either Germans of the Third Reich or South White Africans of the 1960s. The reader may ask, he's going to try to predict what I'm going to ask. The reader may ask. The reader may ask, what is the value of attempts to assess responsibility for internal violence? What, if anything, has or can be done to punish the guilty or to correct situations which exist even today? The legality of the Nuremberg trials has been questioned, and it has been said that the only thing that kept American and British leaders from being tried as war criminals was the fact that they were on the winning side. It is certainly true that the violence done to humanity by the Nazis could not be undone. And it is probably also true that such trials and subsequent convictions will not deter any future war criminals. But it is probably also true that the war crimes trials, and the trial of Eichmann did have the salutary effect of awakening the moral conscience of persons previously apathetic or indifferent. They're not here. He ain't talking about in America. People in the world today seem increasingly aware of events elsewhere and increasingly willing to understand the meaning of those events. Collective action is now more likely to occur than was previously the case, as can be seen in recent happenings with the British Commonwealth, as well as in broader United Nations participation in the Congo and elsewhere. The end. We finished this book. Thank you, ancestors. I thank my ancestors, and I thank all of y'all too. Oh, I thank y'all so much. We finished this book. Oh, wow. What was this? 526 pages. It took us like 2 months, maybe a month and a half, but we finished it though, and yeah, I work on reading better and stuff, but it's different. Reading is different. It ain't easy now. It's different when you're reading something, that must be read. You reading it with a purpose. Than you just reading, I don't even have a regular book to show you. But when you just reading something that really don't, you can just speed read. You just read through it. It don't require any thought, any processes of emotions and stuff. You just reading a story about, being out at the park or something light. But when you're reading stuff like this right here, you can't just speed through it. You got to take your time and stuff. And oh, my ancestors, yeah, it just took us through so many emotions. Ooh, what's done happened to our people? But we did it. See, we can read. Don't let folks tell you can't read. You don't like to read. If you know your baby's struggling with reading and stuff, Let us know. Let's work on getting a children's channel. Let's work on getting a children's channel with a whole new, I think I gotta have a whole new email to set up a channel like that, because I don't want them to get mixed up with this channel. Or this too deep for, small minds right now and stuff. But we finished it, yes. Let's just help each other. Because we all we got, y'all. This the end right here. I guess I just came in on the last part to let black America know, don't go to heaven. And we're supposed to have black babies while we here on earth. I guess that's my purpose. Let us know you better not take your ass to heaven. So I guess overall I got three things for us. Me being here, me being here is one, have black babies, black people on this planet, black America and black Africa. To one, have black babies, heal black people, and don't go to heaven. Go to the afterlife where your ancestors at. Go to the afterlife where your ancestors at. If you willingly go to heaven, you're going to be willingly in heaven with those who want to be with white people. And it's different for everybody. Stop now, go to bed. It's different for everybody. Just give yourself a chance. I know you probably said, don't even matter where I'm going to spend eternity because I ain't going to be alive anyway. But you don't know. You probably saying, I ain't going to feel it anyway because the Bible said the dead don't even know they did. The Bible said a lot of things. Use your common sense, black America. If you black, you listening to this is who I'm talking to. You, black person. Your energy never dies. You're going to keep all that energy in heaven forever and ever and ever with white folks again. Ain't you learned enough on earth? And you mean tell me you willingly want to go to heaven? I don't care how much you love Sabrina. Come on now, have some loyalty to yourself. Don't Sabrina want you to be the happiest you can be and stuff? Can y'all see yourself in heaven enslaved again? Well, that's what William Joseph Simmons said, that, they up there too. And, y'all always, I learned, black Americans, y'all let it be learned that God forgive everything. Yeah, God forgive it. All you got to do is ask for forgiveness. But he don't forgive suicide. I've always heard that my whole life. That God forgive everything, but he won't forgive no suicide face. You better not kill yourself because God won't forgive that. So I be wondering, God don't forgive suicide for someone that's hurting and want to take themselves out of pain to be with him. That's what y'all said. People go be with God. They don't think they taking themselves out of pain to go to hell. Damn, we so backwards for white folks. So, I was like, wow, okay, I think I went along with it too. All right, if that's what y'all say then. Because it was one of the lessons. But then, now, today, it don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. So, I'm kind of like, so in other words, you saying God forgave all these people that did this right here. Every last one of them. God forgave them. And this was what, 125 years ago? I ain't good with math, so get your math channel too. But this right here, all these white men right here, they were less than 125 years ago. Yeah, they got some grandkids somewhere. And so you saying that God forgave them? Is that what you want us to think, that God forgave these men right here too? All they had to do was ask him for forgiveness. And he let them come up in heaven too. Where John at? I don't want to hear that bullshit face. Don't nobody remember. That's besides the point. That is besides the point. Because don't you think your higher power should be loyal enough to you that even after you survive all this and you renewed in the afterlife, in your transition over, don't you think your higher power wouldn't want you to be living a life? with the same people. I mean, how is it supposed to be with Emmett and Carol and Brian in heaven? I mean, where the loyalty to who? Who the loyalty to? Because it ain't to Emmett. And it's still about loyalty. All this time on earth, and y'all mean to tell me that once we die and we ain't on earth no more, morality go out the window. There ain't no morality, ain't no integrity, ain't no accountability. So if that's what you want me to think and believe, then yeah, slavery going on up there too. You better not go to heaven. Yeah, you better do your research on heaven. You better start and do your own research. Go within and get your answers. Go within and get your answers. At this point, you need some downloads from the ancestors. You need some downloads from the cosmic energy up there. Because your religion got you so blinded and stuff. All you think about, all y'all worry about, just fretting about is when you die here, please let me go to heaven. Please, Jesus, let me go to heaven. Please accept me into heaven. Honey, you better think about that. When you get to heaven forever and ever and ever, that's where you're going to be at. That's where you're going to be at. Think about forever, your forever, forevermore. Your loved one that may have passed on, your mama, your daddy and stuff that may be in heaven. And the only way they up there now is if they decide to stay. Because I told everybody you can get up and fly away. They took them little bitty wings that was left, honey, and they all flew off. Flapping like little bitty butterflies. They sure did. Yep, that's all they were waiting on. For us to let them know. Black America and Black Africa too. That's all our ancestors were waiting on. For us to let them know. You ain't got to be trapped in America. But see, we so collective. We are so we so collective. Our collective is so telepathic. We so connected to each other. We're connected to the cosmos. We're connected to the soul. That's why they were waiting on us to just let them know that they can leave heaven. You don't have to be trapped up there in heaven. Now, I'm only just one. Now, just imagine all of y'all. Tell them, yeah, you can come on up out of heaven and stuff. Go be free, ancestors. Be free in the afterlife. You know, you ain't even got to go that way down the multiverse. You can go that way, that way, that way. You can go wherever you want to go in the afterlife. You know, it's all, yeah, just do it. You know, we're going to get on up out of here because it's going to be an early night tonight. I know, right? And yeah, we're going to leave ourselves with some gratitude, y'all. You know, with gratitude is all good. Honey, if you want to see your abundance and your prosperity, you want to see your glow up, honey, get you some gratitude. You ain't even got to pay for it. You ain't got to pay nobody for your gratitude, honey. You can give some of it away if you want to, or you can just keep using it for yourself. You give it away, it'll bring you more. Yes, honey, you give it away, it will bring you more. It will polish you like you polishing shoes. Yep, gratitude, it does that, y'all. Gratitude shields you from negativity. Honey, that shield around you, everything coming up at you, just boop, 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 because it can't hit you. It can't hit you. Every time it come over and stuff, yeah, the shield around you. Gratitude shields you from negativity. And you know you're the happiest one as soon as you walk in the room. As soon as you get out of your car and walk in the store, everybody just looking at you and stuff because you're so grateful. You grateful and graceless. You graceful and you grateful. And everybody can see it on you. So when you walk in the room and stuff, all eyes is on you. Now you know it's some in the crowd and stuff that don't like it. Oh, I'm so sick of her and stuff, you know. Yeah. But that right there don't even bother you. It washes right off of your back because you got that shield from gratitude. You know, and it's, yeah. It propels all of that negativity and stuff, honey. You just got to keep it with you. Sometimes when I forget my gratitude, honey, I'm reaching in all my pockets. So, well, let me get my gratitude out. I know I do because we got to change our whole lifestyle. Yeah, our whole lifestyle got to change. Our mindset got to change. And, you know, sometimes you're going to have to remind yourself. That's why I put stuff up on the walls now. Because as you unlearn everything you done learned from 20, 30, 50, 60 years, however old you are, you know, and everything you done learned up to this point and stuff, and now you like, damn, that meme of Lawrence Fishburne was right. You know, I got to unlearn everything and rethink. What did he say, or what if I told you everything you thought was truth was wrong or something like that. So yeah, we got to do this though, but it's all for good and stuff. And I just got two things: gratitude and singing that can help you out. Gratitude makes you at least 25% happier. Yes, honey, get you some gratitude. Whatever you're going through, honey, think of something to be grateful for. Your mama, your daddy, your kids, your paycheck, your car. I don't know, you done got your food stamps, your refrigerator full of food and stuff. I hope they ain't cut off all them million people of food stamps like I had seen the other day. Because that's a motherfucking shame. People ain't got our people anyway, ain't got our garden set up in the corner where we can go over there and just pick some vegetables and go cook a stir fry. Get that baby a carrot over there and get us some of that ranch in there. We ain't at that point yet because we haven't started prepping and preparing. Not on this level. Lee Farmer 73 and Lady Led, I started a garden some years ago, but yeah, it went down and stuff. I'm redoing my own again. I'm redoing it again. But I'm just saying, for us to lose our food stamps and stuff like that, for y'all mothers with babies and stuff, our babies is not even used to weaning their food, rationing the food. You're going to have to ration that food for them babies soon. You might as well get started right now. Let them know. Yeah, the meat finna build. You don't need a whole big old piece of meat. You don't need that big pork chop. Cut it in half or something and give it to them like that and just let them know. We finna be slacking up on meat because it's going to come a time and stuff we ain't even going to have meat no more. Them babies going to have to get used to eating vegetables and fruits. And so, get started with them now, letting them know that, yeah, it's healthier for them anyway. All that meat and that dead carcass and stuff, we got to do these things. But just keep some gratitude with you, honey. Gratitude will help you through all of that. You're going to start getting so much abundance and prosperity. You ain't going to have your problem going to be, where am I going to go and buy these seeds at? Ooh, where am I going to go and get my light at for my plant, for your garden, because you might need to get you some of them plant lights. Them lights to help your flowers grow and stuff. Them going to be your problems. Yep. Oh, my pantry too full. What I'm going to do with this? Well, when your pantry get too full, what you want to do at that point is find somebody in your family, in your circle. Get a couple of them. And, if you end up with like 20 canned goods, yeah, I got too many of these right here. I can get somebody. Help somebody else start their garden. Help somebody else start their pantry. Whatever you need to downsize, be like, oh, I know I had all this right here. Yeah, then you're supposed to help your community, your family, your friends, your circle. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do with these things right here. But yeah, y'all, when you got gratitude, honey, you're going to be 25% happier. And you don't need nobody else to make you happy. Nope, you don't need nobody else for that. Gratitude will do that. Now, when somebody come into your life or you see somebody, or your best friend or, your cousin you ain't seen in a while, so of course you're happy to see them, but you don't want people to be your happiness. You want to be your happiness, okay? Gratitude is your happiness. You ain't got to ask nobody for gratitude. Ain't nobody got to give you permission. Yeah, you can be grateful. What? No. Gratitude is yours. It's always with you. Cosmic energy gave you that. Yep. Honey, use it. Now, if you already sad and depressed and stuff, we're going to help you get out of that tonight. And, that way when you be grateful and stuff, you won't feel like 10% happier, even though that's still good. We want you to feel that 25% happier. Because me, honey, when I'm in my gratitude, yeah, when I'm off in there, honey, I'm like 55% happier. Yeah, folks be thinking, wow, she don't won the lottery or what, Yeah, something like that and stuff. Because, see, you got to always stay high. You got to always stay high. It's okay to get low sometimes. I get low sometimes. But then when I bring that gratitude back and stuff, it's still like, 15% happier. It ain't never like 0% happier. Because I don't let myself get down that low no more. I just don't. For what? What am I going to worry about out here? Light bill. Everything that our ancestors done went through and stuff now, honey, it ain't but one thing to be worried about, and that's our people. That's our people, And I don't even want you to worry about us. I just want you to be wary. Just be wary. You know, that's all you got to do. Don't be worried, just be wary about us. You know, gratitude, y'all, it rewires your brain. You ain't gonna be thinking about all that bullshit, honey. When you start thinking about your gratefulness, whatever you grateful for and stuff, honey, you ain't gonna be worrying about all that bullshit. Who did this? Who said that? What's looking like that? Oh no. Your mind ain't even gonna be thinking about that stuff. Folks gonna be calling you, talking about, oh girl, such and such and such. You ain't even gonna be thinking about that. No, and they gonna know it. Your friends and your family gonna know it. Because see, it's bringing abundance to you. And don't be mad at them and stuff when they be so sick of hearing about this. No, don't be sad at them and stuff, honey. Just give them a little bit of that goodness and go on about your business. Be like, well, I gotta go now. I'll talk to you later. You know, and go on. And leave. Go. Just cut it short. Because see, you don't wanna wear your welcome out with y'all friendship. Because see, when you keep doing that and stuff, then they gonna eventually be like, yeah, ain't no need in calling face and stuff. Ain't no. Yeah, you can always call me. I'm gonna keep it real short and sweet, so you ain't gotta feel intimidated. And like, wow, face always up on the high. No, I'm not always up on the high. But that's how we want us to be. We want us to be highly vibrating on a high frequency. See, but I think that's why a lot of us in our families and in our circles and stuff, we just stop reaching out to each other and stuff because shit, here, you just too damn happy for me, shit. You always got something going on and stuff. You ain't never really resonate down here where, you know, we povertize. And we all the same, in the same education bracket, in the same financial income bracket, you know, but it's just that mental attitude. Got to change our mentality, y'all. We got to stop acting and being and thinking and living like white folks. Because it ain't even giving us nothing to be joyous about. I don't care what you got on. I walk down the street every day of the week and see you wearing Prada. Then the next day you wearing Gucci. The next day you wearing LV, Louis Vuitton. You know, the next day you wearing Michael Kors or whoever that man name is and stuff. But honey, you still ain't got more gratitude than I got. Sure don't. See, all that stuff that white folks is making look like glitter to us, Black America, that ain't where our wealth is at. Somebody done lied to you. Everybody lied to you. Yep. Gratitude, y'all, it eliminates your stress and it heals you. I'm gonna go into more about what the healing is, because I didn't write it on here and stuff. But gratitude, it improves your sleep. You can sleep like a baby. Honey, you can sleep like a baby. You ain't worrying about none of that bullshit. Fuck the dumb shit. You know, I'm just saying. Gratitude boosts your self-esteem and your performance. Because you already know. You already done got that first, you know, gratitude came to you and dropped that prosperity down and stuff. You didn't even know it would come. It could have been that you just came home from work one day. Somebody done set a box full of apples out beside your door. I'm just saying, you know, it's a farmer up the street and stuff. Maybe he went around and gave everybody some fruits and stuff. Yeah, I had a couple of bushels of vegetables and brought you some by. We don't know. Yeah, I got all these seeds right here and stuff. I'm just bringing you a pot and some seeds, girl, and some soil. You don't know what it was. I don't know. You just started being grateful and you just started getting it coming in. Notice it when it come now. It might be small, seem insignificant, but notice when it comes, because that's your gratitude. And you got to keep your gratitude going on, because like a bicycle, you stop being grateful, your ass gonna fall over. I'm just saying, you know. Yep, gratitude, y'all, and it enhances the law of attraction. Yes, honey, everything that you want and desire when you is grateful for. I'm beginning to be grateful for what I ain't even got yet. Yes, honey, it ain't even made it here yet. Do you hear me? And I'm so thankful for it and stuff already. I just started doing this because I read about, I'm going to have to add, I don't think the law of assumption is on here. I seen that somewhere else. But I'm finna start adding that to my changed lifestyle. Because see, this like you know how you change your landscape? Because you and Miss Shirley be, you know, trying to see who going to have the best Christmas yard and the garden look the best and stuff like that. When you got to change your landscape every summer to the wintertime stuff. Well, we got to do that for our life. Yeah. We ain't really living nothing like Black people live. Nope. Not even in the 60s or the 70s. You know, we getting back to it though. But we got a long way to go. But yeah, I'm just, trying to implement more better things into my life and stuff. The simple things don't even cost nothing. I know you're finna go out there tomorrow and spend a good $50, $70 and stuff, but get your seeds and stuff in your pot and your soil and stuff instead of going to buy shoes and shit. Because I seen Dr. Umar going off. Because they done came out with these new Jordans, huh? And black folks out there going to get the Jordans and stuff, honey. And so, yeah, instead of going spending your money on that and stuff, honey, let your friends go waste their money on them shoes and shit, honey. Go get you some soil, get you your pots, your seeds, get your jugs of water, preferably spring water, I believe, so you can go and get your garden set up in the corner right there. Somebody got to be the first one in your circle. Somebody got to be the first one now. When Shay and them come over and stuff and be like, oh, girl, you ain't going to get them new Jordan. You be like, no, girl, I'll see y'all later. I got some things to do and stuff, honey. And then they come around and visit you in a week or two or whatever, honey, and be like, whoa, what the hell, this jungle up in here? You got everything just growing, looking flourishing, green. You just started your garden, honey, and you got carrots, onions, beets, okra, everything growing right there, honey. They're going to be like, whoa. And see, that way, you the first one, and all you got to do is just put them on cold. Put them on cold. It ain't going to be that hard to do, We're going to be upset at first. Nah, I'm all right. But we'll start thinking about it. I do the same thing myself. Yep. And last but not least, gratitude improves your relationships. Now, who don't want to be around somebody that's always got something? That you can learn something, you can gain something, you can make something, you can create something, Who don't want to be around somebody like that? I mean, people that's grateful, that's who everybody want to be around, because I know you grateful. I know you getting some good coming in. Grateful as you is. Yeah, I want to be around the grateful people all the time, because, see, that teaches you how to be grateful. I know we go around, yes, honey, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored, honey, try being grateful. Let's just switch up our words a little bit, okay? Let's just switch up our words a little bit, so that we can counteract any unknown side eyes and rituals and castings to this language that we speaking. Because come on now, we know this is not our natural language. We know that by now. I didn't even know nothing about Ebonics, but I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. Jesus and Ebonics is just us. It's wordplay. It's the same thing like wordplay. Same thing. So, we need to switch ours up a little bit too, so that we can get the best benefits for us. Long story short, y'all, we got to evolve. We got to evolve in everything. We got to evolve the way we living. We got to evolve the way we living, the way we learning. We got to evolve the way we taking care of ourselves. We got to evolve everything, y'all, the way we eating. We got to evolve the way we breathing. Ain't no way we could go through all that other declination, if I said it right, all that other declining because of so much trauma and stress to keep the peace, and everything else be affected, but our breathing ain't affected. Yeah, our breathing is affected too. Our breathing is affected too. We're supposed to be taking deep breaths, breathing deeply, but everything is off because of our refusal to see the impact that, white America has on us. I know y'all don't see it as that deep, but it is, So let us leave us with some good vibes and stuff. Singing, y'all. Just keep a song in your heart. All you got to do is keep gratitude and a song in your heart. Now, I don't know what kind of music you like, but I'm just going to say for the best benefit, go back to the 60s and the 70s. Go back to the 70s. I was born in the 70s. I might know a few songs from the 60s, I guess. Duke Ellington, But yeah, go back to your mama, your daddy music. Go back to your mom and your daddy's music, because that's where it's going to break down the ice. The ice of fear around our hearts, because we got so much fear around our hearts about white people and stuff, y'all. We got to chisel through it. I'm looking for something I can show you what I'm trying to say. We got to chisel through that ice. So you ain't going to do that with Beyonce Halo. No, you probably going to wipe it away a little bit, but it ain't going to break through that barrier right there. You're gonna have to go back to a song that's gonna chip that ice away. It's gonna melt all that ice away and stuff, and then you'll be able to see within. See, we gotta go within, but ain't no need going within if you can't see shit. So try to help yourself. I'm just saying, So singing, y'all, when you singing joyful or expressive songs, y'all, it'll nourish your heart, it'll balance your emotions, and it'll uplift your spirit. That's what music will do for you. Think about the Commodores, just to be close to you. When Lionel get to singing, you already know. Man, you get chills. I'm getting chills now thinking about singing a verse of it and stuff. But yeah, I bet not. But your lungs. When you singing, y'all, it helps expand your lungs and it improves your oxygen intake. I'm convinced right now, you better start singing the best, whatever Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight you want to sing. Fantasia too, if you want to sing your Fantasia song if you want to. I'm just saying, try to go back. You don't want to get music that's going to lead you to further music. I like Halo too. I like Halo, but then if I'm going to end up with that drunken love, that's going to defeat the purpose. So, just try to stay back with your older, your safer music, your music that's got messages. Now, Beyonce might have some messages. There's messages in all music, I guess. But I'm talking about the messages of safety to Black people. Don't act like you dumb now. Don't act like you don't know that Earth, Wind, and Fire, LTD, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, the Commodores. Don't act like you didn't know they were telling us to stay the hell away from white folks. Get away from white folks. That's basically what they were saying when you listen to them messages and stuff, telling us that we looking for love in all the wrong places. That's about what they were saying. So when you singing, y'all, and it improves your oxygen intake, y'all, you getting that good breath. Your lungs is getting so much air in them and stuff, honey. You ain't breathed like that in a month of Sundays. Start singing again. Start singing. Keep a song in your heart because it improves your oxygen. We breathing so shallow. I can't breathe now, but we breathe so shallow. Our nose going to be that skinny, that little, that thin and narrow in about 3 to 5 years. I'm just saying. Might be 10 to 12. I don't know, but I'm just saying. We're supposed to be using our nostrils to breathe. We're supposed to be filling our lungs up. Singing can help you correct that. Yeah. Singing also helps regulate your emotions in your liver. Help regulate emotions like frustration, anger, and stress right on out of your liver. All of it must be accumulating in your liver. That's why your ass is pissed all the time. That's why you're mean and grouchy all the time and stuff. Because your liver holding all that anger and stress in it. And ain't nobody ever told you just sing a song. That's all you got to do is sing a song. When you see somebody like that and stuff, honey, just ask your cousin if you don't already know what her favorite song is. Ask her what's her favorite song. She always mad every time you see her. Can't nobody say nothing to her. Ask her what's her favorite song, honey. When she tell you her favorite song, start singing it. So she'll start singing and get some of that anger and that frustration and shit out of her. And then let her know when y'all finish the song and stuff, because somebody going to pick up the hairbrush and start singing and stuff, But when it's over with, then you let her know, girl, we got to keep a song in our hearts, sis. Because shit, it's too late for us to be in all this anger and frustration. Let her know. So when you ain't around and stuff, see, she can just sing her own song. Okay, just do this for each other. And last but not least, your kidneys. When you singing, y'all, singing strengthens your kidney energy by fostering your vocal expression. When you hitting that high note, like Patti LaBelle is, on my own. Yes, honey, your kidneys is too. Can you see your kidneys in there? Oh, it's hitting that high note too. I'm just saying, So yeah, just keep a song in y'all heart, because it's all about vibrations. Everything is about vibrations, and we got to vibe high. We got to vibe high. We can't keep vibing low, and even if we is gonna keep the peace for white folks and stuff. Yeah, you ain't gotta read Red Summer. You ain't even gotta get out and say, hey, I'm gonna give you this book right here. Just set it down. Because it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody, but Peace of mind and sanity is. Peace of mind and sanity is. So give your friends, your family, and yourself permission, to have your peace of mind and stuff. Don't be no fool and no dummy. I would tell anybody, yeah, you probably, can sit in and stuff, but no, I don't want to read that and stuff. I can't be reading that stuff like that, and that's fine. You do what you can do and stuff. You probably here to do something else, obviously. I'm probably waiting on your math channel or your science channel. I don't know, you're a good cleaner and stuff. Yeah, I could use some good tips on cleaning and stuff too. Whatever you do. I want to learn how to. I sold once before. If you're a seamstress, I used to be a seamstress too. When I was 15 years old, honey, I got to number 3 working at the factory with my aunties and stuff because, they dominated. So I just learned how they were doing. And I did what they were doing and stuff, yeah. So, yeah, even if you're a seamstress, I don't cook very well, but, yeah. I'll buy some ingredients and you could teach us how to make vegan dishes and stuff like that. But Black America, just whatever you got, whatever your skill, your love is, go ahead and get your channel and give it to us. Because right now we need everything. We need everything. And I love y'all and I thank y'all, but we did it. We did. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and we got out of here 30 minutes early, too. Let's give some shout out. Well, good day. How you doing, Hank? Hey there, Ping. Yeah, don't smoke cigarettes, y'all. No, cigarettes, honey, that ain't doing nothing for you. Yeah, if you start smoking cigarettes that first hour, your lung is pink like that piece of, yeah, right there. Like that right there. When you quit smoking cigarettes, your lungs in the first hour, it's like your lungs just took a whole deep breath. So about 3 hours and stuff, your lungs have increased exponentially or whatever the word is and stuff. So yeah, don't smoke cigarettes. I started smoking cigarettes when I was like my 30s, I think. And it's taking me forever, it seemed like. But I'm making stride too. At first, it's going to be slow when you do start smoking cigarettes. But the more you do, you'll be all right with it and stuff. Just leave them things alone and stuff because they really just shortening your life. Now, when we come here and I sit here and stuff, eventually I'm going to be standing up. I ain't going to be sitting down all the time because when you sit down for like 3 hours, that's like 10 cigarettes. Everything we do, it's got to be for a purpose. And this is a purpose. But, yeah, we just want to evolve everything in our life and stuff. And y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. But, hey, thank you. We finished it. I know, right? Good night, and thank you so much. Thank you for your patience and your presence.